So here with us now to weigh in, justice and race reporter for Axios, Russell Contreras. Russell, thank you for your time today. First of all, we know that this speech is ongoing. We were taking a live look there. She has yet to address cartels, but how much does the U.S., in some capacity, factor into how Mexico's president is addressing her country?
Well, right now it's central, Nichole, that she is talking about making agreements with the United States without subordination. The thing that's hovering over Mexico and Claudia Sheinbaum's administration is the Trump administration has been pressuring them on a number of fronts, but then changing the goalposts. They'll say, look, we'll pause these tariffs if you do the following: hold migration, give us some alleged cartel members, extradite them to the U.S. So far, the president has done that and agreed with Mexico, but then the Trump administration moves the goalposts. We have those reports about the Pentagon planning possible targets in Mexico, giving kind of some information on what it would look like if they did so. That is not sitting well with Mexico. If you remember, Mexico and the U.S. had a war many years ago and it lost a third of its territory, which is now the southwestern United States. The invasion of Mexico by the U.S. in any capacity really hits hard to the sovereignty and the heart of Mexican history. It would be absolutely upheaval if that happened. Even if you targeted, say, the Sinaloa cartel or any other cartels, the blowback would be tremendous, and this would be a crisis on the president's hand.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk more about that. This news that the president had secretly directed the Pentagon to explore military action against cartels. What do you think that could potentially look like?
If, we just don't know what the information is, what kind of secret plan they did, but if they did plan strikes, say if what the U.S. did in Yemen or parts of the Middle East, that it really depends on how this would happen and what would happen to the cartel infrastructures. The cartels are they're very adaptive and would probably move. So you would probably destroy a significant part of the infrastructure, but the demand is still there. The demand for fentanyl and drugs would still be there. It's actually an accountability problem with the United States rather than Mexico, because Mexico is selling things that are in demand in the United States. However, any strike in Mexico would create a tremendous backlash in Mexico, but also among Mexican Americans in the United States. Right now, Los Angeles is on pins and needles because of the raids in June. You could probably see unrest in San Antonio, in Phoenix, in Houston, in Southwest. At the same time, the president is trying to send National Guards or threaten to send National Guards into urban areas to fight crime. This could be an upheaval that could go on for months.
So how would you rate U.S.-Mexico relations right now? And with all that you just laid out there, how do you think that changes as we move forward?
Well, up to this point, Claudia Sheinbaum had been looked upon as the Trump whisperer. She had been able to hold off on tariffs. There was pauses on 90 days, and then the Claudia Sheinbaum would then send, say, some extradited folks to the United States, alleged cartel members. She would also play a role in holding migration, not just from Mexico, but also from Central America. The Panama president did as well. You see the Darien Gap traffic at its lowest in years, almost to zero. If that maintained, Latin America is actually helping and addressing some of the Trump administration's initiatives, and the Trump administration has been able to benefit. You almost see no migration along the border. You're seeing record lows. If there is some sort of rough patch in this relationship, some of these successful initiatives could be in danger, especially with tariffs. Right now, the border relies on trade from international Mexico, places like Santa Teresa, New Mexico, and El Paso. Any tariffs that are imposed would devastate these local U.S. border towns. And right now, they have some of the lowest crime rates. Their economy is growing, but they could be in danger.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.